Hello, Cherries fans, and welcome to this impromptu show. We like this on Cherries Extra. Please remember to hit the like, the subscribe on here, but also remember to hit the like and subscribe on our main channel, UTC IAD AFCB. So I thought I'd do a bit of an impromptu video because I've been watching back today two of the incidents against Crystal Palace. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to actually realise what two incidents those were. But what I'm on about is Zaha's penalty shout, and penalty shout in inverted commas, because to be fair, it was never a penalty. And also, the other one is Lerma's broken nose, which was nice from Palace. So let's start off with the first one, which is the Zaha penalty claim. It's the lesser of the two, but still, it's quite serious, so we need to mention it. Zaha is running through. He's gone into no man's land. Billing's done a good job, put him under pressure, and Zaha has fallen over Billing's foot. That's basically what happened. Zaha then tried to claim a penalty, punched the ground, and cried like a baby. Never in a million years is that a penalty. It's not a penalty. It is not a penalty. At the end of the day, Zaha has got form for doing this and diving to ground. He has got form, and that was never, ever, ever a penalty in any which way. What annoys me about this is there was a lot in the noughties, late noughties, about diving. Cristiano Ronaldo was pulled up for it. A lot of other players were pulled up for it because players were going to ground too easily, and they were saying, right, okay, we wanted the penalty, and sometimes they won them. However, Zaha, I thought we'd moved on from all that. I thought we was actually trying to play the game a little bit more fairly. But Zaha has just gone to ground. And what happens if Zaha wins a penalty and Billing is sent off for that? Because Billing didn't try and make a tackle. He was sensible enough that, he knew if he put his foot there, Zaha would fall straight over it, start rolling around like a baby, like he'd been shot, and then the penalty would be given, and he'd probably be sent off. So Billing, well done. Zaha, this is where it's wrong. If VAR were looking at that, surely Zaha should have been put in the book for it. He should have been put in the book for it, because it's not sportsmanship. It's not fair. It's not the way the game should be played. It's not how, we should be expecting it, especially with VAR in 2023. Players shouldn't be doing that. But Zaha seems to do it all the time, and, sometimes gets opportunities off the back of that, sometimes doesn't. But I can understand if it was a 50-50 and there was a tackle and there was an intent to win that ball, and Zaha thinks, right, okay, might be able to win, cheap penalty there. Fair enough. But Billing didn't. Billing just put pressure on. He didn't actually turn around and tackle Zaha. He didn't try and win the ball. He put pressure on, and Zaha, being Zaha, decided to dive over his foot to win the penalty. That is just my honest take on it. It's ridiculous. It was never ever penalty in a million years, and Zaha should be pulled up for that all day long. Should be pulled up for it, because it's disgraceful. It really is disgraceful. Tell you one thing else that was disgraceful and should have been a red card was Andersen's punch, we'll call it that, punch on Jefferson Lerma. Now, firstly, I'm not sure why, in a million years, why you would do that in the box, your box, well, in our box, as you're trying to attack a corner, right? So Palace are on the attack. They've got corner. Lerma's trying to defend that. Now, I could understand if it was Lerma trying to attack and Andersen trying to defend. What would happen if he did something, rather stupid? You know, I could understand that. Could understand that a lot more than this. But, you know, it doesn't make any sense. Anderson raises his fist and watch it again and again and again and again. If you're a Crystal Palace fan, you cannot turn around to me and say this isn't a red card. He moves his fist towards Lerma's face. Now, if the fist was in an unnatural position, I don't know how you would in that place, but say if, for example, you've got your fist like this and Lerma's ran into it, that is a different thing. But Lerma's face, even that pelt, that is a sending off. You have moved your fist into somebody's face. If your fist is there and the player's gone into it, you know, because maybe you're trying to defend it and trying to be big, you know, and trying to be solid, you know, and get yourself in the position to attack that ball, and somebody runs into your fist, it's fair enough. You know, even if you're running forwards and then, you know, collide, that could be argued. But Anderson moves nowhere. Lerma is, you know, effectively defending. He's defending, and his fist goes, and it's a motion. It's a motion. It's a red card. And even, do you know what really pisses me off on this? If they had actually watched that back, which they did, on VAR, they would have seen that, and they would have seen that that was a red card. That's a red card by the book every day of the bloody week. You know, Lerma's got a broken nose. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. But that is a red card every day of the book because the fist has moved towards the player. It's not the other way round. Like I say, in reflection, a lot of Palace fans will probably say, well, it doesn't really matter, we beat you 2-0 anyway. But that could have changed the game. The Zaha penalty shout could have changed the game. Could have got Billings sent off, to be perfectly honest. But, you know, thank God it didn't. And VAR was right that time, even if they hadn't. If they hadn't looked at it, you know, probably the referee realised. But really, if they did look at it, Zaha should have gone in the book for that. That was ridiculous. It's frustrated me. You know, I had to have a say because that is not the way football is played. You know, yes, Palace outside of those two incidents were much better side. Elise as a, you know, a fantastic guru, was very, very good at the back. Not discrediting them at all here. But why I'm saying the two incidents, there was never a penalty for Zaha and should have been a sending off for Anderson. You know, 100%. In fact, if you want me to be perfectly honest, and this is how I'm going to sign this short clip off. You know what happened with Mitrovic a little while back? What Anderson's done there is worse. And I'll leave that with you. What Anderson's done there is worse. So if Mitrovic can have an eight game ban, let's keep a consistent PGMOL, and let's, you know, you've got to sort it out. But yeah, for consistency, if it's one rule for one, Mitrovic gets banned, should be one rule for another. Enough said. That's my view. Let me know if you think I'm correct. But I don't care if you don't think I'm correct. But you know, that's the way it is, and you know, it was annoying. It annoyed me. So yeah, let me know your views. But yes, up the cherries. We'll see you in the next show, and do check out the main channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe bell button and all that stuff. See you in the next one.